Through 8 movies and a few spin-offs, the Harry Potter film franchise has delivered a ton of magical moments. Now it's time to burst your imagination bubble with a collection of behind-the-scenes moments that reveal some of the crazy ways the film was made. Before you watch, click subscribe. You'll join our notification squad and be the first to know of new Screen Rant content. On screen, Voldemort and Dumbledore are mortal enemies who have engaged in some epic battles. In this photo, not only are the rivals hanging out, but they are actually sharing a laugh together. If this happened with the characters, we may not have had any of the movies. The great CG and camera tricks used to show Hagrid's massive size made him seem like a real-life giant. Then you see the behind-the-scenes image of a stunt double putting on a creepy Hagrid mask, and your happy views of the characters slowly drift away. There are a few characters Harry Potter could have kissed on screen throughout the series of films, but we never expected Bellatrix Lestrange to be one of them. Clearly, Helena Bonham Carter and Daniel Radcliffe got along much better than their opposing characters ever did in the films. We all wish our school cafeterias were just 1/10 of the greatness featured at Hogwarts. Unfortunately for the cast filming there, their meals and craft services were not served at the large dining tables. With wizard robes and grand halls removed, it's still a little strange to see Harry, Hermione, and Ron all chowing down on some good old Pizza Hut. One of the things that helped make the world of wizarding seem so real were the little moments like the scene in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince where Hermione puts library books away. Unfortunately, the magic is completely taken away when a behind-the-scenes picture showcases hands in green gloves pulling the books up into the air. The hands were obviously edited out in the final production. Harry Potter is filled with all types of CG characters, but oddly enough, the filmmakers decided to go with an animatronic puppet design for the creation of Aragog in multiple films. While your arachnophobia may increase when watching the movies, seeing the puppet behind the scenes doesn't make the giant insect seem so bad. No one gets left unscathed in the final 2 installments of the Harry Potter films. This includes Harry's best friend, Ron Weasley. Ron suffers some pretty nasty gashes on his chest and shoulder, and creating realistic wounds is no easy task. Film crews work art to make the cuts look as realistic as possible, and the final effect came out great on screen. If you thought filming the Quidditch scenes were a challenge, imagine the trouble the film crew went through while capturing the second task of the Triwizard Tournament. While scenes made it seem like Harry was alone underwater, there was a massive crew ready to give oxygen and help with emergencies. The large crew even dressed in antlers and Rudolph noses to pose underwater for a group Christmas card. Capturing the essence of Professor Snape is no easy task, and it seems like Alan Rickman was born to play the role of the complicated Hogwarts professor. He was often in the zone for his scenes, and even just a simple walk required a large dolly and huge crew just to get right. One of the tragic fatalities in the Harry Potter series was Dobby, a small house elf. Apparently, the cast didn't get too close to all the CG characters, as several of the actors are seen laughing between takes at his funeral. We imagine the stand-in dummy Emma Watson holds is the butt of several of the jokes. It's okay, we still miss you, Dobby. Many fans would love to spend hours and hours hanging out on the set of Hogwarts, but apparently all of the acting is a lot of tough work. Just check out the shot of Helena Bonham Carter as she lounges around set between takes. With special effects shots, lighting, and props, scenes could take hours and hours to shoot and perfect. Potterheads looking for a special themed wedding will often point to the nuptials of William Weasley and Fleur Delacour for inspiration. The wedding was beautiful before Death Eaters interrupted, and a behind-the-scenes shot shows how much of the wedding setting was actually just a fake movie set. The whole thing didn't even take place outdoors. Daniel Radcliffe is certainly impressive in his role as Harry, but the young star couldn't do everything on his own. Naturally, the film crew hired a stunt double for Harry, and the two clearly got close on set. Radcliffe did perform a lot of his own stunts, but the double was there and ready when things got a little too tough. One of the big monsters Harry Potter comes across in the Chamber of Secrets is the massive snake known as the Basilisk. On film, the creature is large, terrifying, and something you would never want to run into. On set, the snake model was merely a large head. Some of the more thrilling scenes in the Harry Potter movies include Harry riding on his broomstick. Clearly the scenes are shot using blue screens and extensive special effects, but actually seeing the process kind of takes away the magic of the broom. In this picture, Harry carries Draco on his broomstick as he saves him from a scene in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. Snape was seemingly born with a scowl on his face, and his constant sorrow must have permanently set in after the death of his true love, Harry's mother. Snape's trademark serious look is completely thrown out the window with a behind-the-scenes glimpse at Alan Rickman actually laughing with other actors while on set. Thankfully for the rest of the cast, he wasn't a method actor. Imagine walking up and seeing a whole wall full of goblin heads. During the production process of several Harry Potter films, goblin head molds are created to be used as blueprints for the actual characters. Seeing the drawings and models showcases how much work went into the development of each movie. In Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, many of the characters venture away from Hogwarts to put a stop to Voldemort once and for all. Of course, Harry leads the charge as he books it through the woods and runs away from a collection of Death Eaters. Except in the behind-the-scenes shot, it looks like Harry is simply running aimlessly in the woods. Before Harry was powerful enough to take on Voldemort himself, he simply has to sit back and watch Dumbledore take on the Dark Lord. Thankfully, the film didn't use the shot of Harry lounging like a beach model, or else fans would have burst out laughing during the emotional moments. For the young actors in Harry Potter, sometimes just one stunt double wasn't enough. During the filming of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Emma Watson had 3 different stunt doubles. It must have been strange sitting on set with all these girls dressed exactly the same as you. Will the real Hermione please stand up? As each year of Hogwarts begins or ends, there is nothing more inspiring than hearing Dumbledore's great speech. In the film, the students at Hogwarts look on with admiration and awe. Unfortunately, they never heard a word. During the close-up filming of Dumbledore's speech, he dictated his lines to just the film crew. It seems kind of awful to have him speak to all these grown-ups as opposed to students. Harry's fake-out death in the Deathly Hallows Part 2 was one of the most emotional parts of the movie. In some shots, Hagrid has to carry Harry's body for everyone to see. To help get the size correct, a dummy mold of Harry was actually used. If the producers were smart, they would have marketed the duplicate Harry Potter dolls for mass production and sales to Potterheads all over the world, huh? The key to Voldemort's villainy being a success is the look of the character, the seriousness of his actions, and the mystery built around him for so many years. This is why the goofy picture of Ralph Fiennes as Voldemort is so disturbing. Voldemort goofs around, and most disturbing of all, he has a nose! Yikes! One of the most iconic moments in Harry Potter history takes us all the way back to the beginning. One of the first scenes filmed for the movie features Dumbledore and Professor Minerva McGonagall. Cameras capture the action from both sides, and the wizarding world of Harry Potter has just begun. We watched Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and Rupert Grint grow up on the big screen, and the culmination of it all really showed when it was time to say goodbye. All of the actors ended up bawling, along with a number of crew members and producers who worked on the movies for years. This moment may be even sadder than the Deathly Hallows Part 2's actual ending.
What will you give me in exchange, Severus? Anything.
Wow, there you have it. What was your favorite moment? Are there any we missed? And what other behind-the-scenes footage would you want to check out? Let us know in the comments section below, and don't forget to like this video, share it, and subscribe to Screen Rant on YouTube so you can stay up to date with our awesome videos. Thanks for watching.